Good morning, children. Today we are in the last part of the lesson tissues. Already we have learned about the plant tissues and its type in the previous sessions. Now let us see about the animal tissue. In case of animals where the body is expected to perform uncountable functions simultaneously, right? So it is obvious that the number of tissues will also be innumerable in that case. So let us study all these by dividing the animal tissue into four categories. So one for protection, second one for connection, third one for movement or locomotion, and the fourth one for passing the signals, right? So based on that, we have divided the animal tissues as epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and nervous tissue, right, ma? So if you see about epithelial tissue, from the word we can understand epi, which is meaning called above. So thus epithelial tissue is the one which lies above the entire body, forming a protective covering. Along with this covering, it also forms a barrier between the various organs which separating them. So the structure of the epithelial tissue is quite evident from its function. Yes, since it has to form a protective layer, it cannot afford to have spaces between the cells. These epithelial cells are tightly packed. The tissue lacks intercellular spaces and has extremely small amount of cementing material. So every single substance that passes in and out of the cell needs to cross the epithelial layer at least once. So based on the permeability of the cell which present in this tissue, we can define that into various types of epithelial tissue. Even though we are going to study about the different types of epithelial tissue, there is a common term which is present in all the epithelial tissue, which is called as a basement membrane. So may be any different type of epithelia, all of them will always have the cells resting on a thin fibrous supportive membrane like structure, which is called as basement membrane. So if you see in this picture, the pink color line is called as a basement membrane, where the cells are arranged in a single line and it holds all the cells in a proper way. So this is what the work of the basement membrane. So based on the function done by this layer, we can categorize this epithelial tissue into many types. So let us see the types of epithelial tissue. So the first type is squamous, stratified squamous, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated, and granular. So these are the types of the epithelial tissue, right? So let us see the first type of the epithelial tissue, which is called as squamous epithelial tissue. So look at the picture. If you see the picture, no, below to that tissue we have a basement membrane which is gray in color, and we have one layer of squamous epithelial tissue. Yes, so by seeing this tissue we can explain the cells which is present in these tissues are thin, flat, and which are closely packed, right? And you can able to see these type of tissues in our body which are present in our skin and lining of alveoli of lungs and blood vessels and cheeks. And even you can able to see these layers, which means these epithelial tissue, or which are present in the linings of cavities like mouth, esophagus, alveoli, and everywhere. Okay, now what is the main function of this squamous epithelial tissue? The main function is to uh, protection, osmosis, and diffusion. This is what the main function of the squamous epithelial tissue. And what are the other function it is doing? The other function which is done by the squamous epithelial tissue is, which is protecting us from the mechanical injury, and it blocks the entry of the germs inside of our body, right? So this is what about squamous epithelial tissue. If you see the second picture and first picture, you can interconnect it and you can relate that too, because in the second picture you can able to see the same type of squamous epithelial which was found here, and where the layer of tissues are greater. Yes, so this is what the only difference between these two tissues. So squamous epithelial tissue which contains only one layer, but if you see in the next picture, this epithelial tissue is called as stratified squamous epithelial tissue. Here the layer, the arrangements of many layers can be seen, and maximum this type of layers can be found in the skin. And the main function of these stratified squamous epithelial tissue is to protect from mechanical injury, and these can be found in esophagus and pharynx. Okay, Now let us see the third type of epithelial tissue, which is called as simple cuboidal epithelial tissue. So cube, from the picture you can give the name for it. So all the cells which are present in this tissues are in cube-like structure. So the cells which are present in this cuboidal epithelial tissue is cube-like structure, which can be found in kidney tubules, salivary glands and sweat glands. And the function of this cuboidal epithelial is to secrete and to absorb. Okay, so these can be present in the glands, ducts and germinal layers of ovary. And let us see this next type of the epithelial tissue, which is called as columnar epithelial tissue. If you see this picture, first picture, you can able to see the cells are arranged in a column. So this was named based on that, and the name of this tissue is columnar epithelial tissue. If you see the cells which are present in this, you can think that as a pillar-like structure which are present here. So pillar-like cells are present, so it will be called as columnar epithelial tissue. And these can be found in the lining of stomach, intestine and genital ducts. And the main function of these epithelial tissue is to protection, absorption and segregation. Okay, so this is what called about columnar epithelial tissue. In the same columnar epithelial tissue, if cilia is present on the above surface, which means you can see on the next picture, ciliated epithelial tissue, right? So in this picture you can see cilia is present, right? Cilia is nothing but a small hair-like structure. So in the same columnar epithelial tissue, if the hair-like structures are present, then it will be called a ciliated epithelium. Yeah. So these can be found on the lines of the respiratory tract, fallopian tube which is present on the uterus and nephrons. And the cells are cuboidal and columnar with fine hair-like structure. The main function of this ciliated epithelial is to protection, spreading of mucus, and cilia help to move the immovable particles which is present. So by the rhythmic movement of the hair-like structure, which is called a cilia, which moves the material in only one direction. And cilia help in movement of gases and liquids too. Okay, yeah. If you see the next third picture, which is next to ciliated epithelial, which is called as granular epithelial tissue. From the name gland, you can able to understand glands will be present in this epithelial tissue. So it is called as granular epithelial tissue. And the cells which is present in these tissue might be cuboidal, columnar, branched or unbranched. So these cells are the large cells. So which are present in the sweat gland, tear glands and lot of glands. Okay. So the main function of this granular epithelial is to segregate. Yeah, so we have seen about 6 types of epithelial tissue, which is called as squamous, stratified squamous, cuboidal, columnar, based on the columnar, ciliated and glandular. We have seen all the 6, right? So now let us see about the next type of tissue, which is called as connective tissue. So in the animal tissue, we have categorized that as 4, which is called as epithelial, connective tissue, muscular and nervous. Now let us see the second type, which is called as connective tissue. We know that the tissue is made up of cells, right? So the cells are connected together by this gel-like substance which is called as medium or matrix. So this one you must understand. All the cells are connected together only because of a gel-like substance called medium or matrix. Okay. In our body, what does connect all the things? So even though the answer is connective tissue, an adult human body has 206 bones. So what do you think? Are they all connected to each other? Yes, they are all connected with the special type of connective tissues, right? So based on the connection which was done between the bones, muscles and everything, we can categorize the connective tissue into 3. One is binding tissue, packing tissue and supportive tissue. This binding tissue is otherwise called as dense connective tissue. Packing tissue is called as loose connective tissue, and supporting tissue is called as some specialized connective tissue, right? Now first let us see about the dense connective tissue, right ma? So the tissue that connects 2 bones are called ligament. So first if you think about the skeleton system, all the bones are connected together, right? So where this connection has been done? So the bones, the two bones which are connected each other only because of the thing which is present in it. So that is what called as ligaments. And their cells and matrix have elastic fibers. Here some elastic fibers are there. That's why we can make this bones to move, because of based on that we are moving, right? So the ligaments are yellow in color, and these, the main work of the ligament is to connect one bone to the other bone. The ligaments are elastic and it has greater strength. The function is to join the bone to bone and helps in movement, right? So this is what about the ligament. And based on the ligament, in the bones itself, there is a one more thing which is present, which are connecting the muscle and the bone. Okay, so bone to bone connection is called as ligament, where the muscles has to be connected to the bones, right? So the thing which is locating between the muscles and bones are called as tendons. So these are non-elastic fibers and which are white in color. The main function of this is to connect the muscle with bone. And these tendons are fibrous tissue, strong and has limited flexibility. Okay, so these ligament and tendon will come under dense connective tissue. Yama, have you all understood? Now, based on this dense connective tissue, let us go for the next thing, which is called as packing tissue. So to protect our bones and muscles, our skin comes into the picture, right? The human skin is the largest organ, but ever wonder how does it just stay there? The skin is connected to the muscle with the type of the connective tissue. So what is the name of the connective tissue? So let us see. So the cells in these tissues float in a gel-like medium, which means the cells are loose, and hence this tissue gets the name areolar or loose connective tissue. Okay, so this areolar tissue, the cells are loosely packed. The matrix or contain fibers and macrophages. Okay, so the main function of this areolar tissue is binding and repairing the body tissues. So the main functions are packing and supporting, binding, repairing the tissue, and join skin to the muscles. So this is what the main function of areolar tissues. And this areolar tissue is the only tissue where it comes under packing tissue. So the third part is called as the supportive tissue, and the other name for the supportive tissue is called as specialized connective tissue, right? So have you ever wondered how the organs are present inside our body? Did you know bones are also the connective type of tissue? Yes. So bones are the one of the type of connective tissue. That's why the name skeletal is given in the specialized connective tissue, right? So that is called as bones. So bones forms the skeletal of vertebrate animal. It consists of a lot of matrix like substance which are present in it, like calcium and phosphorus and everything which is present, and it provides support and shape to the body, and it protects the internal organs, and a site of blood corpuscles also can be present in it, right? So we know that, isn't it, ma? Yeah. Now in the bone, the cells and matrix are present along with the calcium and phosphorus. And there is one more tissue in this type. Have you ever tried to fold your ears? Yeah. So it bends easily, right? So that is because of cells which are widely spaced, and the matrix is like cheese, like firm and slightly elastic. So this type of tissue is called as cartilage tissue. So these tissues can be found on the nose tip, ear pinna, and in a windpipe. So in those places you can able to see this. So this cartilage is flexible and provides firm support due to the feature of it. Yeah. So we have one more layer which we have to see about it. There is a layer of tissue which acts like a shock absorber in our skin, which is called as shock absorber. The special type of connective tissue which acts in this way is called as adipose tissue. And these adipose tissues are round and oval shaped cells filled with fat globules. So because of the fat globules present below to the skin around internal organs and in yellow bone marrow. Functions. What are the functions of it? It stores the fat, act as an insulator, and act as shock absorbing cushion around delicate organs like kidney. So if you see the persons which who are having thin body, they will feel so cool if they go for some places, right? But the fat people will not feel that much. This is because of the adipose tissue which is present in it, right? And at last we are going to learn about one special connective tissue which is called as the blood. So we know it out. This blood will be in a form of fluid, right? So we always see the tissues which are made up of the layer of cells and huge pile of cells. But our body is also having a tissue which is liquid in nature. This fluid flows in your entire body and act as a transporter of oxygen to all the parts of the body. Can you name it? Yeah, already I have given the answer, which is nothing but a blood. So, blood is also a connective tissue which has many cells called RBCs, white BCs, and platelets, which float in a liquid medium called plasma or otherwise called as matrix. These red blood cells are otherwise called as erythrocytes. White blood cells are called as leukocytes and platelets are called as thrombocytes. Okay, so the function of blood are transport of food, oxygen, carbon dioxide, waste, and the hormones. Right? So, until now we have seen two types of tissues which are called as epithelial tissue and connective tissue. Now, let us see about the next tissue which is called as the muscular tissue. Right? Muscular tissue. By the word muscular, you can able to understand what is it, right? So the word muscular means the n number of muscles which are present, made up of the muscles. Okay, so locomotion is a boon to the animals. We see plants moving and animals moving or locomoting. So what is the basic difference in it? In plants, moving is just moving a particular part, while locomotion is nothing but translocating from one place to another. So from this we can say that plants only move, but animals can do both movement and locomotion. Let us see how animals locomote and the parts inside our body move. Imagine in one fine day if your stomach stops moving, what would happen then? Yes, the complete digestion process would stop. In the same way, if lung stops, contraction and relaxation will not happen, right? And it would cost us our life. So, who is helping for doing movement and locomotion? You are right, which is nothing but the muscular tissue. So, muscular means made up of muscles. The cells are, these tissues are elongated and contain contractile protein. And if you want to move your muscle, if you want to contract a relaxation which has to be done in your muscle, and the cells which are present inside of the muscles like actin and myosin should also do that. So these are all the things which helpful as to contract and relax. Okay, so do you think all the muscles are same? No. Muscles comes in various types, depends on their function. So do you think muscle in our stomach is different from the muscle which is present in our biceps? Of course, they are different. So we have three major categories of muscles which are called as striated muscle, smooth muscles, and cardiac muscle. The skeletal muscle is otherwise called as striated muscle. Okay. So first let us see about the skeletal muscle. Yeah. So skeletal muscle. While you observe this muscle in the microscope, you can able to see the alternative dark and light bands which are present in it. So these muscles are attached to the bones, and these muscles are long, cylindrical, unbranched, and multinucleate. Multinucleate in the sense which is called as n number of nucleus in it. Okay, so you can found this type of muscle in limbs, face, neck, and etc. So the main function of this muscle is helpful for the locomotion movement of our body. So this is what the main function of this. So this skeletal muscle is otherwise called as striated muscle, and it will be otherwise called as voluntary muscle. Why it is called as voluntary muscle? So if you want to give movement of this muscle according to your will you able to do that? Yes, absolutely. That is the reason we call this type of muscle as voluntary muscles. Okay, ma? So these muscles are otherwise called as striated muscle or voluntary muscle. So these muscles are long, cylindrical, and it is having multinucleated cell. The main function of this muscle is to locomote, which means for the movement. So next we are going to see about the smooth muscles. So this smooth muscle is otherwise called as non-striated muscle. Okay. Why? Because why this is called as non-striated muscle? If you see this smooth muscle under the microscope, you cannot able to see any stripes in it, and you cannot able to see any dark and light bands on it. Okay, so it was called as unstriated muscle, and it is also called as involuntary muscle. Why it is involuntary muscle? If you want to move the muscle according to your will, if you want to give some movement of this muscle, you cannot, because they have long spindle shaped, and these muscle have uninucleated cell, and because of the activity which you cannot do according to your will, it will be called as involuntary muscle. So these muscles are present in our stomach, bronchi, uterus, yeah, and in the other places, in the iris of eye, so in those places you can see. So the main function of this smooth muscle is giving movement of food in alimentary canal. Contraction and relaxation of the organs can also be done with this. Yeah, now let us go for the third type of muscle, which is called as cardiac muscle. This cardiac muscle will be otherwise named as heart muscle, because this is the muscle which is present only in the heart. So this muscle, where the cells are branched, cylindrical in shape, and in this muscle, if you see, you can able to see the stripes like which is present in the first type of muscle. Okay, and here also it is uninucleated cells which are present in it, and which this muscle is present only in the heart. And what is the main function of it? This main function of this cardiac muscle is to give rhythmic contraction that helps to pump the blood to various body parts. Yeah, so if you see the differentiation of these three muscles, like striated, unstriated, and cardiac, you can able to see here, which are voluntary, involuntary, involuntary, and lot of things are given. Just go through it. Okay, now let us see the last type of tissue, which is called as nervous tissue. Have you ever experienced, when you touch a hot object, immediately you will mistakenly, if you touch, you can able to pull your hand away, right? And haven't we all experienced a hot day and immediately coming inside of the home and switching on the fan? And even you can start blinking your eyes when some dirt enters on it, right? So, well, what exactly is happening in this situation? So basically, we feel or sense. Because of the sense and feel, immediately we will respond to some changes. But how much time will it take for responding that? Maybe in 2 seconds or less than that? Yes. There are a lot of things happening in our body within a short span of time. So all of this is happening only because of nervous tissue. So nervous tissue. For example, let us go for the first example which I said to you. When you touch the hot object unmistakenly or unknowingly, immediately you will pull your hand away from it, right? So the receptors which is in the finger sense the heat, and the sensory nerves in the hand observe the impulse and transfer to the spinal cord. So from the spinal cord, this impulse passes to the neuron, and then the impulse passes to the muscle in your finger. So the person immediately removes the hand from the place. So the whole process involves in this way is only because of the coordination among the nerve cells, which are called as neurons. So this neuron found dense in the spinal cord. If you see in this picture, you can able to see the neuron, and the yellow color portion was called is there, no? So that is what called as the cell body, and this cell body with the yellow color portion is called a soma, S-O-M-A, soma, and this soma has one nucleus inside of it. And from the soma, you can able to see the large thin-like structures, thread-like structure which is going here and there, and that is what called as dendrites. Okay, and in one particular place, the soma is get extended. Yellow color long thin line was coming over here, so that is what called as axon. Yeah, so at last in this picture of this neuron, you can able to see synapse, right? So some branch like substance, root like structure is there, no? So that is what called as synapse. Now below to this, the next synapse of the second neuron will connected. So once this neuron get the signal, it will get passes to the other neuron because of this synapse. Okay, yeah. Now this neuron have three parts. One is soma, dendrite, and axon. Soma is the body with nucleus. Dendrite receives the input. Axon sends the information to the synapse which is placed on the last part. Yeah, ma. So, in this session, we have seen about the types of animal tissues, which are called as epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. Now, what you should do is, in your classwork, in a 120-page ruled notebook, the second part of the notebook, you should draw the diagram of neuron, and you should draw the diagram of the another one animal tissue, which is called as mm, what is it, columnar epithelial tissue is there, no? So draw that, and based followed by that, you just draw the diagram of phloem. In a plant tissue we have seen xylem and phloem, no? You just draw phloem in the classwork. So all these diagrams has to be finished, so which is called as the section of phloem and neuron and the columnar epithelial tissue. So hope you have understood this, and from this part, the third which means from this third part of the lesson, the tissue lesson get over. So just go through it, ma. Thank you.